Hey everyone, so we are back outside. Spring has officially sprung, which means a lot of us are getting ready and prepped to garden and get outside. So I have Connor Witt back here. He's with Morgan Composting, and we're talking about raised beds today. Of course, we have a few examples in front of us, and we're at Maple Hill Nursery in Midland to discuss a few of these raised beds. So Connor, thanks for being here with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. You're always welcome. And tell us a little bit the advantages of using a raised bed compared to, just your traditional in-ground garden.
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, there's a couple different advantages. One, you get the chance to fill it with a high quality potting soil that's going to be totally weed free, so you're not having to pick out all these weeds all the time. The other advantage is the bed kind of comes to you, right? It's raised, so you're not having to bend over all the time. A lot of guys that garden are, they're a little older in age, so it's harder to get down. So a raised bed is much easier to use, much easier to get to, and it's just got all sorts of these kind of advantages where you can choose what you want to put in there, and it's just easier to access.
And you know what? Me being a creative person, you could even go the extra mile, beautify your little raised bed. So.
Yeah, yep. A lot of people go through, stain them. They'll put steel siding on them, make it look really nice.
Okay.
And the creativity really can't end. You can use it, as a growing piece, but you can also use it as a, creative point in your lawn, in your garden, in your whole area.
Absolutely. So tell us, what do you exactly need in order to build a raised bed?
Yeah, so as far as the building materials go, you can get anything you want from, lumber to steel, build up the sides. You can actually buy a lot of raised beds at stores. If you don't want to build it, it's just easier that way sometimes. As far as materials go, you're usually going to want to go that bottom half you can fill with our topsoil blend. So what you're going to get with that is it's a less expensive product, so you don't have to fill the entire bed with all of that high quality potting soil. Then you can also take put about half or a little more of the topsoil blend in there, stick a weed barrier over. So some people use newspaper, cardboard, or even just like a fabric separator.
Okay.
The topsoil blend is not weed free, but the high quality potting soils are. So when you put that in, that weed barrier, wet that down a little bit, and then depending on what you're growing, you can always put about 6 to 8 inches of that potting soil on top.
Right.
So if you're doing flowers, use more of that flower dew. Vegetables, the veggie dew is great because it has more minerals in it. You get more tasty peppers, more brighter tomatoes, and just get that nice flavor out of them.
Okay. So that's geared more towards if you want flowers, veggie.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
And that's part of Dairy Dew.
Exactly. We cater to whatever is. So if you want flowers, more phosphorus for bigger blooms. Veggies has higher calcium, nitrogen, and minerals just for better taste and size. So,
Very good.
Yeah.
Where can you get these products? How do you know much products that you'll need in order to fill your raised bed?
Yeah, so if you go onto our website at dairydew.com, up at the top you'll see a thing that says Dairy Dew Calculator. So you can click on that, take the dimensions of your raised bed. You're going to do length and width, and then you're going to measure how much depth you want. So usually, again, we want that 6 to 8 inches. You're going to type that in, and then it'll tell you how many yards you need and how many bags you need, depending
Nice.
on the size. So it kind of gets that all set up for you. As far as getting the product, Maple Hill has all of our products. They'd be more than happy to help you guys out and give you more information. You can also go in pretty much 130 retail locations in the state of Michigan. So we have lots of availability. You can also find that on our website at dairydew.com and find dew near you.
Find dew near you. That's awesome. Okay, so can you plant the same day as you put in your raised bed?
Absolutely, yeah. You can put everything in, get it ready, wet it down a little bit, and go ahead and put your seeds in there. Or you can let it settle for a little bit. You can put your soaker on there, get it wet, let it sit for a day. You sit down, rest, and go at your own pace.
So we do want to show you, this is what a raised bed looks like to start.
Yep.
But then we go over here, and that's kind of what you want it to look like after.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so how would you recommend starting with seeds? Can you grab a plant from the greenhouse, or should we just start specifically with seeds?
Yeah, so it depends on what you want to do. If you want, so this is our Veggie Dew 301. So if you take a started plant, it's about 4 inches tall, it's been germinated, it's doing pretty good. You can plant directly into this and it'll take off and be totally fine.
Okay.
But if you're starting from seed, the Veggie Dew has a little more nitrogen in it than our seed starter would, and that can kind of be a little too much for the seed sometimes.
Okay.
So we want to give that seed a nice gentle start. So this Seed Starter 101 is perfect to use because it's a very fine texture. It's easy for the roots to set. It's got a lot of mycorrhizal fungi in it to help with root development. So what you're going to want to do is you get your bed set, and then you can put like a little trough right in here.
All right.
Fill that with your Seed Starter 101.
Right in that trough.
Right in this trough here, yep. And then you can plant your seeds right in there.
Okay.
And then they'll go ahead, get started growing, and then by the time they get to that 3 to 4 inches, the roots will be hitting this Veggie Dew and then getting that extra nitrogen, the extra calcium, those extra minerals, and it'll just take off, and you'll have great fruit, great veggies, great everything.
Oh my gosh, that sounds just divine.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, do you have a favorite that you grow?
So I like tomatoes personally,
Okay.
because that's one of the cool things with our products. You know, sometimes you go to the store, you go to, you know, get a tomato, and it tastes like a sack of water, right? There's not a whole lot of flavor there. You put it in this Veggie Dew 301, all those minerals, it tastes like a tomato. It tastes wonderful. You can almost eat it for dessert.
Oh
you know,
man,
it's just awesome.
bursting in your mouth. I love
Yeah.
it. Connor, thanks so much
Hey,
for
thanks for
coming
having
on. Did you want to add anything?
You know, just I want you guys to have a great growing season this year. Again, you can always get all of our products at Maple Hill, and best of luck to you this spring.
Very good. All right, stick with us because we're going to be continuing our conversation about raised beds and other topics so you can have the best growing season this spring and summer.